Zambia. Good evening, Africa, and warm welcome to the bigger program right on KBN TV from Zambia's capital city, Lusaka, with me, Innocent Piri. You can simply call me IP. In the studio, I have a well-known figure on your screens, very controversial sometimes, but of course a man who's been around for all these years. He has seen successful administrations come and go. He still remains firm on matters of governance. His name is Honorable Brebner Changala. He joins me on set as governance expert or activist, depending on which title you'd want to give to him. Good evening, Honorable Changala, and welcome to the program.
Good evening, and good evening to your viewers. It's my pleasure to be here once again.
It's good to see you. I've invited you at a time when, first of all, the year is almost coming to an end.
Yes.
2 months from now, we'll be saying goodbye to the
2025
and entering into the new year.
2026.
2026. Again, next year, it's going to be a busy year. It's the year for the elections when Zambians will be again, making a decision whether to maintain the UPND or to elect a new leader. Now, if you are to be given the chance, like the chance I'm giving you right away, within or less than a minute, to make a choice come next year on matters of governance, will you re-elect the UPND, or what decision will you make?
Thank you very much to you and to your viewers. It's a well-known fact that the last general election, 2021, I and many voted for the UPND. We needed change, a change of purpose. Going to 2026, will Brebner vote for the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema? The answer is firmly and clearly no. They have lived and abused their usefulness. It's over. Thank you.
What a summary. The summary is quite harsh at the same time. Well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Despite your one vote you have, or your single vote you have,
Yeah.
the UPND and the President Hakainde Hichilema, they still have a strong feeling that they will return power come next year. I think you did saw the president when you watched him on TV when he was addressing his party members at Mlungushe Conference Center. Something, interesting is that the head of state took, I think, 3 hours highlighting his achievements. Something you can't take out from him.
No, there lies the problem. There lies
the problem there.
Let me tell you, my dear brother and good listeners, performance, and especially good performance, speaks for itself. As Professor Lumumba would say, when you take so many hours to explain your successes, just know that you have failed. Because successful men, either in politics, business, career engineers, career doctors, they will never go on TV to market themselves. Successful lawyers don't go on TV to market themselves. The result is from their professional work. The UPND behaves as if when the Patriotic Front was running this country for 10 years, Zambians were out of the country. They came back when the UPND won. And this is why they engage in storytelling. They tell us on how they found the economy on its knees, how the UPND, rather the PF, used to beat and kill people. They tell us stories. Now, what they don't tell us, because they are constantly insulting us, why did we remove the Patriotic Front if we didn't know what we were doing? Because by reminding us all the time, let me put it this way, maybe to avoid the waste of time. Yeah. The President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and the UPND, they have wasted 4 years reminding us about the PF and how bad ECL was. 4 solid years. And during this period, they have engaged in storytelling, the restructuring of the economy, and on how they have brought peace to this country.
And those are facts, right?
They are misguided facts. I've lived in this country. Because let me tell you, the people of Zambia removed the Patriotic Front because they needed police reforms. They needed judicial reforms. They needed civil service reforms. And they needed parastatal reforms. They needed a new start. Hence, the UPND came to power on the backbone of change. They came to power on the backbone of the restoration of the rule of law. They were supposed to be the opposite. But for the last 4 years, they have proved that they were actually envying the Patriotic Front. They have maintained the same police that brutalized them to brutalize now their political opponent. They have maintained the same judiciary which messed him up. Mind you, when HH was in opposition, he never won a case. He's now president and UPND, they are winning cases every afternoon. Because they are also abusing the judiciary. Look at the chaos in Parliament. Parliament, since 1964, has been checking the excesses in the executive. Now, Parliament, through the Speaker, Madam Nelly Muti, who has gone rogue, has become a co-adventurer in the abuse of the citizens of the Republic of Zambia. Members of Parliament in the opposition can't debate freely. They are ever suspended, they are ever kicked out, and these are elected members of Parliament. Nelly Muti never spent a coin to be elected to be where she's there by a favor of the president. And she's supposed to be an umpire. She's a ref to moderate the business in the house, not to be a monitor or an executioner. She has abused their mandate there, and the MPs have no recourse anywhere. They just scamper in all directions, and she gives out the West. So the change we experienced in 2021, indeed, it was a necessary change. But the 4 years, going to 5 years, has been traumatizing. Zambians can't talk. We are back to the one-party state. Zambians are scared to talk because of the cyber laws. And these are the laws. You see, Mr. Hakainde is very amazing. He thinks Zambians are a bunch of fools. When he was in opposition, he's on record that my first action when I win an election is to repeal the cyber laws. That's when he comes to strengthen it on all fronts. And he's unapologetic, and he doesn't want to discuss it, and is still running the executive. Putting up laws which have seen many people in jail, in cells. I am coming to the studio. I was in court today. I face a charge of seditious practices, a colonial charge with a historical background. The first casualty of this sedition was in 1958, Mainza Chona, when they were fighting for independence, because the white settlers didn't want the blacks to mobilize for independence. And the last attempt, before Mr. Changala and others had it, is Waliangando. While he was at University of Zambia, he was running a publication. And that was in 1979, thereabout. These are historical facts. And when Waliangando was arrested, taken to court, he was acquitted. Because that sedition could not fit in a constitutional democracy. It was there to stifle dissent by the natives. rather the settlers wanted to stifle dissent. Now you can imagine Mr. Hakainde Hichilema being in opposition as a political party for 23 years, being a presidential candidate and failing 5 times. On the 16th times, having led the UPND for 16 years, he could only come and be sworn in to go to the archives and exhume bad laws that were used by the colonials. It tells you mountains. Whereas we supported him because out of sympathy, we thought because he suffered so much, is an ideal special purpose vehicle to come and transform this country, transform the judiciary, transform the police service, transform the legislature. And by the time he was going to leave office, he would have left us the best ever administration after the Levi Patrick Mwanawasa and Kenneth David Kaunda. But I can assure you on record that he will leave that office, State House, as the most oppressive and abusive leader without any mark of respect for those who reposted confidence, goodwill, and hope in his hands and laps. He has betrayed many. Today, the talk on the street is, can August 2026 come? And everybody, he says, when we win 2026, no matter how we win it, it will be a second liberation. Because people are now fighting not for the economy, they are fighting to retain their rights, freedoms, and liberties, which have been squeezed out of them. And now they are a shell of citizens fearing the unknown that has been created by this regime. There are very few people who can speak the way I'm speaking, because in my case, I'm a candidate of prison. And I've lived my life to the full. If at my age, Mr. Hakainde decides to take it, so be it. But then there are young men in your bracket who have a future. But that future can only come through self-expression, through freedom, liberties, and a sense of purpose that creates development and innovation. It has been curtailed. This country, the economy is on its knees. But when you speak to Mr. Hakainde and complain, he will ask you where you live, whether you are a Zambian.
And that's the biggest question.
And people...
It's that you've heard about that.
Yes, I have heard about it.
Answer, because...
You see, my answer...
As much as the man is trying to convince people like you that he has done a lot, and look, everything is documented. Everything is on record. He has highlighted what he has done. And the question...
What he has done to himself.
And the question is asking you that, where do you live? I wonder when I hear people, asking me that we have done nothing, I ask them, where do you live?
Yeah.
And I will transfer this question, I'll ask this question on behalf of President Hakainde Hichilema, because I'm standing besides one man who is also in a dilemma or in denial. Where do you live, Honorable Changala?
First, I'm a Zambian. I was at his inauguration. We have lived together. I've not left the country. I only left the country recently when I wanted to go and participate in the burial and bid farewell to ECL in Johannesburg. But I only stayed there for 3 days. So I've been around. The economy of this country is on its knees. And Zambians will never be fed through rhetoric. I want to remind Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, please, sir, stop insulting the people of Zambia. Zambians are suffering. The pain is huge. Industries are closing. You are the same man when you won an election. You went to America with our neighbor President Tshisekedi. You came back that you are opening a car battery factory. You're about to leave office. These are things you're supposed to be updating us. Industries are closing every day. Load shedding, you don't want to discuss it. You are telling us about solar. Solar is beyond reach. Zambians are hardworking. If solar was such a panacea, if solar was something which would sort out our issues, everybody would have gone solar. And please be respectful to the people you govern. At the moment, I want to reveal to you on camera things that people are not telling you. And these things are people's desire that you must leave office in 2026 and leave them in peace. You don't run a country like a dormitory where you chase people towards jail all the time. Every time you open your mouth is threats and after threats. That aside, I want to put it on record here. Sometimes you need to be told, this country, you have divided it. You might refuse, but facts are there. We are no longer united. We now need to know where we come from. When I supported you, and when many people supported you, tribe was not an issue. Little did I know that you came to power to ameliorate your perceived neglect by the previous regimes. No wonder every statement you make, you tell people that you are doing these things which were supposed to be done 50 years ago. You are doing things which were supposed to be done 60 years ago. But I want to remind you, you assembled your fellow party cadres at Kenneth Kaunda Murungushi Hall. Who built it if it was never built in the last 60 years? Who built it? Sometimes learn to be humble. Sometimes acknowledge that leadership is a baton you pass to another person. Sooner rather than later, you'll be passing on a baton. But the arrogance to tell us that from 1964, Kaunda did nothing, Chiluba did nothing, Mwanawasa did nothing, Rupia Bwezambanda did nothing, Michael Sata did nothing, Edgar Chagwarung did nothing, but only you. That is your failure. You have never stood anywhere to acknowledge the works and the spirit of unity by your predecessors. That is your highest failure. You are leading a cabinet that is silent because it's embarrassed. I have never seen a cabinet in this country that does not defend policy, neither does it defend its own president. This is the first cabinet because it's in the world. It doesn't even know where you are taking this country. That must make you sit up as a head of state. I remind you, on behalf of the many silent and complaining citizenry, that you are not sitting pretty. You are only there by the power of incumbents. Because while a mistake is made on a polling day, it can only be corrected, unfortunately, after 5 years. And this is the tragedy of the moment. Thank you.
He has been well informed, the president. He has been well informed that he has received the information, or he has heard people, informing him that clearly he himself as a president has got the chances of winning, while his members of parliament, or some of his members of parliament, are likely to lose. That's something that he talked about at Mlungushi Conference Center when he was addressing his party supporters. Maybe before you react, let us watch this video, and then I will bring you in. Let's watch the video.
MPs. The president needs ministers. Ndiye suti yo 2026 tifuna suti. Ngati tina vuto na MP watu ni mukazika panzi iwe bwera mkale hapa. Iwe, kala. Zambia, Muma councils where we have no council chairpersons, we have no mayors, tivutika. Tifu no gwira nchito, mayor akamba vinango. Tifu na mulusaka, mayor watu mulusaka muno, mayor watu. Zambia, Kukopa belt, all the districts, we have mayors except in Ndola and Kitwe. 2026, we want our own mayor in Ndola. Ndiye nkaniyo. I am so happy to be standing in front of you.
Video Honorable Changala was talking about, so the president did mention that, look, there is no way you can be telling me that I'm going to win or in my president from Zapita, but your members of parliament, some of them are going to lose. I want a set. But beyond that, again, I would want you to combine this question with a sentiment which came from his National Youth Chairperson, Gilbert Lisaniso, who told the president that, look, we are aware that some people, they would want to go independent, but from where we sit as the youth wing in the UPND, we will not allow anyone to stand as an independent parliamentary candidate or maybe council chairperson and stuff like that. What does it mean? Let's start with the president, and then we come to this one.
Yeah, I heard the president, and I was happy that he's up to date with the information, except he was speaking in riddles that he will win. Councillors, council chairmen, mayors, and MPs will lose. He was supposed to tell his audience, which was assembled in a building that was built by criminals. Now angels are meeting there, and the people who built that building cannot congregate there anymore. It has been taken over by the chosen ones. But I want to tell you, the president was admitting publicly that he's not winning the election. There is no way what chairman, council chairman, the mayors, the MPs lose an election and him wins. How? Let me put it this way. The president is gone. He has acknowledged he's just writing his farewell speech. It's all over. It's said and done. Now, let's come to Liswaniso. Liswaniso is playing with constitutional democracy and people's rights, freedoms, and liberties. He has no right to stop anybody to stand as an independent. He must not tell what has been a hidden truth publicly, that the UPND is a collection of dictators, authoritarian movement, which does not exercise any right for individuals to participate freely in politics. In fact, to put it plainly, Liswaniso was just a vessel to deliver those threats which they are very familiar with. Those words were the words of the president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. He has not objected because he used him as an apparatus to threaten MPs. Liswaniso himself is not even a mayor, is not a councillor, is not an MP, is just a tool of abuse by Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. What he said there is not backed up by any law. To some extent, even by any kangaroo law, it's not supported. So UPND members, it's time to free yourself, because you are sinking with this party where only one voice his head. Look at this. Zambia is a constitutional democracy. Do you know in UPND, national management team in UPND, only the president is elected, always unopposed. Only the president. Then the president appoints senior members, chairman election, chairman defense, secretary general, other portfolios. Now, this is not, unless UPND is a part of Chairman Mao. But even in a part of Chairman Mao, there is some decency. I see elections in China. They will be going to the convention. You'll be shocked. Only one candidate. The rest are zombies chosen by this almighty Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. It's very unfortunate. I urge the UPND members, fight for internal intra-party democracy. Please stand for positions that you are competent to, not that those positions where you are being given by the almighty Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. I want you to bring Mr. Mwaliteta here, the provincial chairman for UPND Lusaka. Ask him who elected him. Go to the same Liswaniso who is threatening MPs. Ask Liswaniso who elected you. Go to Garin Kombo, chairman election. Ask him who elected you. Go to Jack Mwimbu, chairman legal. Ask him who elected you. These are all appointed and disappointed by one man. And this is why this country is in a mess, because the president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, wants to run Zambia on the UPND model, where you control Jack Mwimbu, so I can control the Chief Justice. You control Garin Kombo, therefore I can control Nelly Muti. You control our poor lady Sylvia Masevo, therefore I can control Mwangaraza Romis. You know, this model, very dangerous. But when you read the constitution, Zambia is a constitutional democracy where each man, each woman, each youth has a right to participate and seek office without hindrance from any superior being or organ. Thank you.
I want to pick some of your submissions when you talk about the UPND and its alleged dictatorial, governance in the UPND, as you have alleged. Don't you think that, for me, I'm looking at it from a perspective of President Hakainde Hichilema having, or being a man with a muscle to hold on the party together. I think from the time he took over, we haven't seen the party really, divided or getting divided. This is a person who has tried by all means to bring unity and order in the party. From the time he took it over from the late Anderson Mazoka, it's different from the PF. You've seen what is going on in the PF. There's confusion. Of course, you have mentioned that there are so many people aspiring to become presidents, chairpersons, and stuff like that. What is in the UPND, according to you, all those are appointed individuals. But let's come to the order. He has told you and I and the people of Zambia that, look, I've been through this script before. It's not easy to run a political party. My own political party, my own members were being, bought by the PF administration. But we held on because we believe that the future shall be bright tomorrow. Don't you think that this can be attributed to his good leadership? That the party really has no confusion?
No. It's bad leadership. You have a house of 6. Wife, husband, 4 children, just 6. Human beings with functioning brains, no matter how young they are. Do you normally get the order you get in the UPND? That is a sign that there is a problem. Some people have gone further to call UPND a cult. UPND's foundation is suspicious. First and foremost, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, before he became president, he was the president of the UPND for 16 years. The remaining years was for Anderson Mazoka. Yeah. Then, in that 16 years, he lost elections 5 times. And his stronghold is Southern Province, where even the voting pattern is very dangerous. Where you find Mr. Hakainde will get 62,000 votes, the run-up will get 278. The figures, first and foremost, will tell you they are obscene. Totally obscene. But that's where he finds comfort. When you talk about the PF being in disarray, but that's how their democracies operate. Because in PF, which is dominantly a northern, eastern, and Copper Belt Lusaka province political party, they don't worship a leader. In MMD, when it was MMD, not under the new leadership of the alliance partner to the UPND, you can see where problems are. The political parties that are formed by our colleagues in the northern, Copper Belt, eastern, they don't worship leaders. The way the UPND worships the leader. I'm not, look what, check my English. It's not plural. Not the leaders, but the leader. Yes, yes, but the leader. I will tell you this. The democracy or intra-party democracy in UPND, and you call it stability, that is already instability. If Mr. Hakainde Hichilema opened up all position for electoral competition, UPND will be another patriotic front. UPND will be another MMD, when it was MMD, because today's MMD is a shell itself. Because once people are allowed to compete, and you know in UPND, what is a tragedy? In the opposition and coming into power, it has got some of the best brains, which have been highly hypnotized. You know, they just move to what the choir master says. They move this side, and sometimes you wonder, why don't they rise sometimes and oppose this man? That you can't do this. Let me give you a good example. The death of ECL is a big lesson, even to the UPND. There are a lot of UPND members I have met who thinks the president must let go, because there's no benefit holding on to a dead body. Literally no benefit.
Is it the president?
It is the president, because you are in the media.
Yes.
One of the things, we are spending a lot of money to fight the case of ECL in South African court. We are fighting a lot of money, rather spending a lot of money. Now, one would have thought, when they started this court case, the matter should have gone to cabinet, so that every member of cabinet would have an input and guide the president. Mind you, ministers are advisors to the president. The advisors are not only the Amasakas, the Whitney Mlovelas, or Christopher Mundias. No, cabinet has got a role to manage the appointing authority and give guidance. I can tell you on camera, I doubt whether the issue of suing ECL's family ever went to cabinet. And I'll tell you this, unless I'm proved wrong. Attorney General Kabesha is working with the president to pursue this matter, trying to honor and give a dignified burial to ECL. But look at who's talking. This is the man who has demonized this man as late as the other day when he was talking from the podium of ECL's criminal building called Mulungushi International Conference, KK Wing. That thing was built by ECL. And they say he was a bad leader. But now they are assembling there. And from there, he was attacking ECL. That is the one who gave Marangi a plane to go and collect money elsewhere. I don't know the story. Only the president knows. But even when ECL is in a courtroom, he can still go for him on one hand. On the other hand, he wants to give him a dignified. You know, the president must be clear of what he wants. And he must hold a discussion with the people of Zambia. Now, I have brought this topic because if UPND leadership was so free and open to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, by now they should have convinced him to say, you have no business with this year. Let the family bury him. This is the man you used to stop jogging. This is the man you used to stop going to church. This is the man you offload from a plane, a former head of state. Humiliate him. This is a man you grab a political party from him and give it to a criminal. And I'm speaking this because these are some of the things we don't want to discuss. This country is under siege. We never expected this. It has grown below what we would call proper and dignified governance.
Wow.
Is each man for himself and God for us all. That's where we are. Any man worth his salt today is a guest of the courts. Any man worth his salt today is being pursued by state police. Free speech has become costly because you don't know what you have said that will land you in prison. Free speech, which is a universal right, unless I'm insulting, but a free speech where I want to agitate for change, a free speech where I want to communicate and enlighten people that this is not the way you're supposed to be governed. It's criminalized, seditious, hate speech. 60 years after independence, at my age, the first time I've heard somebody being charged for hate speech. Hate against who? Hate speech. Who do we hate? Because Kaunda handled that problem square and fair. I am Mbemba. I was educated by Kaunda at St. John's in Mongu. I was in Mongu. I went to school with Oliver Karawo, Deputy Secretary to Cabinet. I went to school with the acting Attorney General, Ronnie Mwambwa. I went to school with the late DPP, Mukerabai. I went to school with Judge Katanekwa, they were our seniors. I went to school with Matthew Chisunka, who is a judge in the Constitutional Court, they were our seniors. The chairman of the Judicial Service Commission, Louis Mukande, was my senior at St. John's. And Kaunda went further. Because of this cross-pollination, there are intermarriages. There is Muvita Chileshe. There is Inonge Musonda. Abenzu Chileshe. Surely, even if you wanted to pedo tribalism, you would have wait order. You will have wait order. And then when somebody speaks, you call it hate speech. And when I first heard this charge, sometime last year or a year before, I thought it was a mistake. Until I saw people going to court. I said, hatred. And then the president spoke himself. Now he confirmed it. He said, you are fighting the constitutional making process because you hate me. I said, God forbid. Did I hear him right? I said, can you rewind that? And it's on record. You are fighting me because you hate me. Now, this is where I don't believe this president. What is in his mind? We fought this year on Bill 10. We rose and beat him and defeated him with a ton of bricks. Who hated this year? We fought Mwanawasa on the constitution making NCC. Who hated Mwanawasa? So this hatred is manufactured by our brothers. But I want to tell them, you might not accept us, but we love you. If our love sounds like hatred, please go back to church and see your spiritual leaders. In Zambia, there is no superior tribe. We are one Zambia, one nation. And stop arresting people on trumped-up charges of hatred. Nobody hates who. If I hate you, it ends there. I don't like you. But don't make it a national agenda. Please, let's appeal to the leadership of the UPND to manage Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. This is critical. This is very critical. I appeal to the cabinet. If it means resigning in mass, please resign. You are in a wrong camp. I know you are enjoying flying that flag. But there is a moment you can take a back seat and think. Because you live in our communities and you get these complaints. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema must not hold you hostage because he made you a cabinet minister. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema must not hold you hostage because he appointed you to the National Management Committee. You have a right to vacate and send a message that you are heading in a wrong direction. Thank you.
Let me take you back, Honorable Changala, to the laws we have in our statutes. I think you have heard the president, he has defended himself that you can complain about the seditious laws. You can complain about, for example, hate speech, among others. These are the laws we have in our statutes.
Who put them there?
It doesn't matter whether these are colonial in nature or not, but these are laws which still exist in our books.
But he has an obligation.
So therefore, you cannot accuse the president who also found these laws. And at the moment, yes, they have not been repealed. But at the moment,
who does he want to repeal?
Which are still existing, whether good or bad. But these laws are still existing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But why is he trying to force feed us with Bill 7 when we have got laws which you want him to change? Let me tell you my departure point with the President Hakainde Hichilema. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has found one office which is non-functional, which he promised in the opposition that will be his first touch to make it functional. And that is the office of the public protector. Do you know that it's in the Constitution?
Yes.
And there is a public protector. Her name is Madam Caroline Sokoni. Do you know that office is moribund? There is a piece of legislation which must be passed by cabinet to make it functional because the public protector must report to Parliament. It's a very powerful office. He has ignored it because he knows it's the only office that can put a check on him. Look at the office of the Anti-Corruption Commission. They signed a Gazette Notice 1123 on 23rd September 2021, hardly a month after he formed the government. The SEC reports now to the president, which is the executive. Do you wonder why cases of the current regime don't feature much? Is it that corruption has ended in UPND and Zambia is free of corruption? The answer is no, because the grand corruption is domiciled in the executive. And there is no way thieves can superintend on themselves. The office of the Anti-Corruption Commission, the DEC, all those offices and the boards must report to Parliament, which is independent. then you will fight corruption in real time. Do you know the UPND corruption will be only fought when they leave office? And it will look like persecution. The corruption of PF is being fought by UPND. The corruption of MMD was being fought by PF. Is that the way the law must operate? The answer is no. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, if he came for change, the real change, he should have reformed these institutions to be independent so that they can go for a minister who is corrupt in real time. Look at the 61 containers which went elsewhere. The president doesn't talk about those things. He talks about PF is here, but the corruption within himself, his government, he doesn't talk about it. The same SEC told you a year now, almost a year, that we're investigating 4 cabinet ministers. 4. No names. But their policy has always been name and shame. But when it comes to the UPND, 4 ministers have been investigated for over a year and they have not resigned. They are working. And the SEC reports to the president. Go and look for Gazette Notice 1123 for 2021. Yes. He appoints the board and he appoints the DG. Who does that? One institution, you appoint the Director General under your signature. You go and appoint the board to supervise the Director General under your signature. And you tell the people on top of the mountain that I am highly educated and I'm very objective. That's scandalous. You go to ZESCO. The Minister of Energy appoints the board. The President appoints the Managing Director of ZESCO. Who does that? The Minister is appointed by the President. The Minister appoints the board. The board must supervise a managing director. A managing director appointed by the president. You don't see anything wrong there.
I remember some years back, I think before 2021 rather, the Office of the Anti-Corruption Commission, among other wings, were falling under the Ministry of Home Affairs. When the UPND came in, they decided to transfer
to the president,
to State House now. What was the logic there?
The logic is
dominance.
Is dominance. I've told you. You see, my discussion today, I've built it from the party where Mr. Hakainde comes from. He is always unopposed. He always appoints elective position where people, Gary Nkombo is supposed to be elected. Jack Mwimbu is supposed to be elected. Throws away intra-party democracy and assembles these people under one hand. The Anti-Corruption Commission, why he has moved it to his office, is to effectively pursue his political opponent using institutions of governance. He admitted the other day in the same building built by criminals.
What was the admission?
The admission was that he worked, he's a chief spy who followed Marangi and spoke to Cyril Ramaphosa. Again, that was, I was a bit scared. He called Cyril Ramaphosa, Kurikamene nifuna oko kantu. After it was found, then he found Mnangagwa in Harare. Now, the president must be told, a government is a system. And it has got institutions that can pursue criminal activities. He has a country to run, not to pursuing individuals. Then he said, I phoned the president of Turkey to help me organize witnesses so that they can convict Marangi. The president, my brother, is the fountain of justice. When Marangi is convicted, he will seek mercy, prerogative of mercy from the presidency. Now, how does he get it when the presidency has decided to become the arresting officer, the judge, and the jury? the spy, as he puts it. You know, the president's speeches sometimes worries me, but innately they reveal his agenda. There is a target that he wants to shoot at and destroy. You know, justice system must be blind. Institution of governance must be independent and separated from political interference. That's why when you go to court, when a judge is conflicted, probably he was with you at school, or probably you differed at a cocktail, the judge will always recuse himself and he doesn't disclose the reasons. The president must be told that when we voted for him in 2021, we didn't give him a blank check that he will do anything that he feels like. Not at all. Look at ECZ. He gets members of his political party to be ECZ chairperson, Mwangala Zaromis. That is dangerous. That is abuse of office.
But and he is qualified, right?
Among
other members who have been appointed by the president at ECZ, they do qualify in those offices.
A medical doctor is qualified, I believe, at all times. But ethically, a medical doctor cannot operate a daughter, cannot operate on the mother, cannot operate on one of his siblings. There are ethics. Mwangala, there is a reason historically that ECZ has been led by either a retired judge or a judge from the judiciary on secondment. There is a reason. Because judges could have political inclination, but it's not known. But Mwangala Zaromis has been seen together with Madam Nelly Muti in UPND regalia. Just like some of the judges, those who were appointed, there are judges there who are in UPND regalia. But Mr. Hakainde, I don't know what point he wants to prove. You see, all he wants is to create controversy where there is not supposed to be controversy. There are a lot of people, even on the bench, who can be chairperson of ECZ. People whose political inclination or preferences are not known. So he does a daring all the time, and he likes it when he goes unchallenged because he has silenced everybody. He likes it. But I want to tell him, one day the sleeping giant will wake up and you won't like it. Thank you.
Let's talk about Auditor Generals. I know that there has been some, damning revelations coming from the Auditor General's report in regards to the monies which have gone, seem to be getting lost along the way or being misused, misappropriated. Now, my question is centered on the man sitting at the office of AG's office, Mr. Mwamba, whom you mentioned earlier on. Whom you were together in school, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
He's been in the acting capacity for now 2 years. What does it mean? For how long should one or the age or one appointed as Auditor General act based on the Constitution?
We are in a country where we are experiencing state-sponsored anarchy. And Mr. Hakainde is the principal architect. You cannot have anybody act in a portfolio for which he does not qualify. That's the standing point. You cannot act in a portfolio that you do not qualify. The Law Association of Zambia had taken this matter to court, and the state moved in quickly to strike a deal with Laz, you must call Laz. They have a duty to explain to the people of Zambia. They went and struck a deal and withdrew the matter from court because that case they were losing. But they struck a deal with full assurance that my brother, colleague, and longtime friend Ron Mwambwa will be removed from that office. But I think they put the first one. Laz is in a compromised situation. So Laz must come and answer. You went to court because the principle is simple. You act because you qualify. You cannot take a motor mechanic to go and act as the Chief Justice. That's madness. Ron Mwambwa worked for the Auditor General many years ago. He was frustrated, he resigned, and he went to work in West Africa. But because of people who were disadvantaged, he was recalled and put into unnecessary controversy. Totally unnecessary. Ron Mwambwa has built a very good career, highly competent, well educated. But because Mr. Hakainde likes these unnecessary controversies, he puts him there. Mwangala Zaromis was my lawyer for many years in my activism. Very nice woman, wonderful, a committed and patriotic citizen with a track record. He gets her to go and soil her. If you listen, nobody questions Mwangala Zaromi's qualifications. They question because she's partisan. She's a member of the UPND. Can you imagine Man U is playing against Arsenal and the ref for Man U versus Arsenal is a team manager for Man U? Do you know how many goals will go into Arsenal? And answered goals. This is what Mr. Hakainde, you know, Mr. Hakainde is taking us for a ride. And I fear for this country. You know, these are simple things which all these fanatics of football will just see and say, that is not acceptable. But, you know, Mr. Hakainde has been testing waters and it's working for him. He's appointing this, he's doing this. One moment he tells you, no, my children will never work for the government, blah, 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 and boom, one comes out from a military training. No, he went for discipline. Every time he's firefighting, he went for discipline. No, he will not be on a salary. You know, this country, they are very intelligent and big people in this country. No, even me, I don't get a salary. I have challenged Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Show us the Gazette notice that you don't receive a salary. And if you receive that salary, tell us where. Because when you leave office, we will get the truth. We will demand for your emoluments. And it will show that you have been signing for that money. Then you are going to tell us another story. You see, some of these things, they are better off left unsaid. If Mr. Hakainde Hichilema didn't want to use that money, he didn't need to tell us because the law allows him to receive a salary. I don't know why he brings this unnecessary controversy. We, the people of Zambia, elected him. And we gave him a house, a state house. My brother and your madam, please go and sleep in our Nkwazi. To this very day, he has never made a comment why he doesn't sleep there. Then he has got this satellite M23 media who tells you there is no law, there is no law. They are jumping all over. Who told them there is a law to bury Isiero here? You know, don't treat people like children. Now, what does he do? He says he's very prudent. Every day, he's causing commotion on Musotunya Road. I pity people who stay there. And he doesn't care. He has a helipad at his house. All he needs to do is get an helicopter every morning, come into State House. In the evening, get on an helicopter, drop at his community house without undue pressure to the residents of Woodlands and New Kasama. He inconveniences people. Unfortunately, they don't have where to complain. It's very sad that you have a president and he doesn't comment about it. That's how he plays. When he's doing something wrong, he keeps quiet. You won't hear him talking about his hero's funeral. But he has got these boys who celebrate whenever they win a case there. Then they go abuzz on social media. Then he's watching, as he tells you, I'm always on social media. I'm watching. He enjoys the chaos. Now, you wonder, where are we going? Because if you see the routine lining from State House to his house, that manpower can be used for somewhere. That policeman power can be useful. And it's a very costly venture. Time, fuel, vehicle depreciation, and just security of a head of state. Why he can't fly the helicopter, I don't know. But because he wants to be seen as a president and he has got power to inconvenience everybody, route lining, Roger, the president coming, and then the motorbikes are in, things like that. On a daily basis, 365 days. No, this is bad governance. Mr. Gainde Ichirema, if you are listening, I'm your colleague. This country can be governed better. Thank you.
Are you in touch with your colleague at the moment, 4 years down the line of being in power, President Gainde Ichirema, your colleague, your friend, and you being in the activism circles? Have you been in touch in the last 4 years?
Yeah, part of the first 2 years, constantly, because there are certain things I thought I would help so that he can fulfill what was planned while in the opposition. But thereafter, as you know, Mr. Gainde Ichirema doesn't like criticism or doesn't like being told what to do. We started having challenges here and there. And I think we mutually agreed that we go each other's way. He governs the country. I go back on the street and agitate for change, another change. That's it. Yeah.
And that's what you're doing right now.
That's what I'm doing. I'm campaigning him. I want people not to give him a vote. I want people to see him for what he is. That's my job. And he must also go somewhere and ask us which country we are coming from. And we're coming from Zambia, except we are sleeping in different homes. He's in community house. I'm in a little ramshackle. And one day we'll meet when he's in distress, because that's my nature. I always make peace with former presidents when they are under siege, for which he will be sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Wow. Let's talk about the Constitution now.
Yes, sir.
There was a committee which was appointed by the president to look into to review the Constitution, and later on we make some amendments. Something very unique is that even the Attorney General was basically on TV, I think a few days ago, and he did mention that it doesn't matter which period or about the timing, because the Constitution is always amended closer to the elections. So, let's begin.
There's a law.
There's a law
that says closer to the election.
No. He said it doesn't matter with the timing.
Yeah, okay.
Because your concern, most of you activists are saying the timing is bad, the timing is poor. But the Attorney General tells you that, look, it doesn't matter. We can amend the Constitution closer to the elections or even before that.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's begin from elsewhere. There is a bill, bill number 7, which demands or which intends to amend the constitution. This bill was nullified by the Constitutional Court.
Yes.
After the Munia Zulu and Celestine Mkandila.
And the president is aware.
And is aware, should I say is aware or not?
He's aware, but he can't acknowledge. But I'm speaking for him. He's aware. The speaker is aware.
Well,
yeah.
He's never talked about it.
I've told you, something where he wants to play something, he doesn't talk about it. Then he unleashes those M23 rebels to attack. Let me tell you about this Bill 7. Yeah. We must understand the spirit in which a constitution is made. A constitution is a national binding document for all those who live in this country. So a constitution is not for one political party. Right. And the constitution is not for one individual. That's why we find it strange many times, these politicians, they push these documents and one wonders in whose interest, and that's where we get suspicious. I'll tell you this, and this on camera. When President HH won the election, one of the things was these reforms. The police reforms, judicial reforms, civil service reforms, parastatal reforms, so that we have an updated and well-trained police service that doesn't play to the political whims. Right. One of the things I told him, we were on talking terms, to say, Mr. President, if you are going to change a constitution in your last year of power, I will not support you. I said it in his face. I will not support you. Do it right now before you test power. Right. Do it now. Where even your landslide is still gloriously being celebrated. This is the time to make a lot of reforms because you have the support and goodwill of the people. Towards the end, I can assure you, because of who I am, I will be on the other side. And you will be on the other side. This is exactly what you and refine what you want to change. Where you can see that they are not sincere, these people. There are documents which they can work on right now, which will make this country the best for everyone. The public protector, they won't touch it because it will bite them. They will not make the anti-corruption DEC independent so that it's answerable to a parliamentary select committee. They want to control the stealing and who steals and who is arrested. They don't want anybody else to have access to their looting. These are the reforms they are supposed to work on, not Bill 7. And you know how they want to mislead you. There is a public document which they have hidden from you. Even you journalists, you can't pursue it. The delimitation. Delimitation was done at the expense of a taxpayer. Where is the delimitation report? It's top secret. But they want to go through Bill 7 to get authority to delimitate. But where are they going to do this delimitation? Where? Because they want, once it's said and done at Parliament, then boom, they'll bring that report. Then you will find the constituencies they want to increase are in their strongholds, where obscene figures will continue coming from. We are not dull. Give us the documents that are public documents. Not just a month ago. They are interviewing judges to the High Court, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court, somewhere thereabout. Do you even know one single judge? Do you even know one? Now, all things are being done in a manner of secrecy. Secrecy. Zambia is a constitutional democracy where transparency is paramount. Right. Zambians must be fed at all times. At the moment, as I talk to you, you are supposed to be flipping the advantages and disadvantages of this constituency being delimited. Why should Lusaka Central be delimited? Why should Chongwe be? Why should Kafurafuta be? So we are supposed to have that conversation. But the document is under lock and key. But that document is supposed to be married with what they want to do in Bill 7. And this is why you have seen is life and death. That Bill 7 has been declared unconstitutional by the Constitutional Court, their own court. But they are fighting it. Hardly 2 days after the Constitutional Court pronouncement, Nelly Muti told Parliament to say, we have no business with that pronunciation. Parliament is independent. Since when? This is a country of laws. That Bill 7, I'm told, hasn't even been removed from there. There is a matter active in court where I think Ifube has gone to court trying to stop the president from swearing in those commissioners. He went ahead and swore them in. And they have to start work. The president even knows that what I'm doing, the people don't want it. Then who are you governing if you are going to force feed people to accept things they don't want? Just using the power of incumbents. And there is nobody in cabinet to stand up and tell Mr. President, this can't go on. For this reason, because you are stubborn, Mr. President, I'm leaving you. That's a problem with our ministers. None of them will resign like Mwanawasa. On principle, when you are being taken in wrong direction, a minister or a permanent secretary must quit, call it a day. But because of poverty, but they give us a picture that they are well to do. They are very poor, these ministers. If they were independent, they would disengage themselves from Mr. Hakainde in public interest. They have no reason to hang on in that cabinet. You can't have a cabinet or a president who fights citizens day in, day out. Today is clocking almost a year. When did he have a press briefing where you would have an interaction with the media? And you media houses, you are taking it as normal. That man was elected to give us a daily update, not to lecture to us. When he goes in that stolen building, from stolen money as he puts it himself, and he congregates with his party members, then he lectures the nation from there. We want him to sit where I am. Ask him, questions. The questions you're asking, put them to. But you're going to tell me, but where would I find him? Go to Community House, you find him. Go to State House, you find him. Go Hamasaka. Go Whitin Murovera. Go Bradford. Fight until you corner him. He will need to have a conversation with us through you, the media. We can't run this country through rumor mongering. There is a lot we need to learn from him. Why doesn't he want TCRO to be buried? Is this normal?
Which way forward, Honorable Changala, with regards to the constitution-making process?
It's a dead issue.
Like you have mentioned, people have been sworn in already, meaning they have to start working immediately.
They have to. He says it's prudent, but I can assure him on camera here, this commission is null and void. It's a BID, brought in date. It is not there to serve the interest of the people of Zambia.
You're not a judge. You act like you're the judge.
I am a citizen. It's null and void. Yeah, it's a BID. It is not in the best interest of this country. It's only there to serve the interest of one person who wants to survive 2026. But 2026 is already decided. Kuya bebele. Okobale atatuishive, but ulendwe populi. Kuya bebele. You cannot inflict this pain on the people you found in joyous moments. Then you put them in a state of fear and panic. They don't even know what is going on. They fear to talk. They fade away with a whisper. It's not correct. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Changala. We appreciate you. We hope to invite you in the near future. Thank you.
In the next government. I don't know who's going to be there.
I do not know about the next government.
It will be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, I've been speaking to Honorable Brebner Changala, the good governance activist or governance expert. You can call him all that. Thank you so much. This has been IP with a bigger program. We'll be back again next week with another episode. Thank you so much. May God bless Zambia. May God bless Mother Africa. Good night.